is Gaius Bowling with G Reels Entertainment Media. How you guys doing today?
Hi, we're
We're
doing
great.
good.
We're doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I watched the film this morning, and I have to say some of my favorite movies are the ones I go in completely blind into. I knew very little about this other than what was sent to me, and I was so pleasantly surprised. It kept me on my toes, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I want to say congratulations to you both for being a part of it, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Chloe, if I'm not mistaken, is this your first film?
Yes, this is my first film.
Okay. I wanted to ask you because your character kind of hangs over this thing a bit like a ghost, a little bit. And I was wondering, was it important for you to kind of know a backstory for Jane? Was there a lot of discussion about like who this person was uh, prior to the point that we are, starting in this story? Or did you kind of come up with some things yourself about who she was as a person?
Yeah, I definitely did some prep work for Jane. I think I focused a lot on her relationship with Olivia and Izzy, and yeah, they have a very interesting dynamic in their friend group, and so I focused a lot on that.
Nice. And Nia, you are the first to kind of be the victim of like some of this like cyberbullying that goes on.
Yeah.
And even though this is like a fun psychological thriller, what the one thing that struck me while watching it is that it's a fairly realistic portrayal of like what a cyberbullying situation could be like in high school.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, do you think uh, the high school age group would it be important for them to kind of see a film like this because it does really reflect like the dangers of like where this kind of situation could go?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think it's important that that Olivia, our protagonist slash antagonist, is kind of being seen the way she is because it's it's a very real thing and it's very easy to kind of slip into this uh the 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 negative parts of social media. So I think it's
Right.
important for like all you know the bullies and the side of the people being bullied
Yeah.
to see this. Yeah.
Exactly. Chloe, as far as how they use you in the film, I was just wondering because you're kind of like in and out in certain shots a bit. What was it like kind of shooting your some of your stuff with some of the other performers? Because in the film, it looks like it's pretty like quick cuts and like kind of pulling you in and pulling you out. But like, what was the experience like filming some of your things?
It was a really great experience. I was on set, of course, with Madelaine and Chloe, and I just cut in and out of certain scenes, but yeah.
That's awesome. As far as the director Sabrina, I felt like she had a very great grasp of the story and the story that she wanted to tell. And I just wanted to know what was the experience like working with her for both of you as like as a director, as far as like how she worked with you as actors and kind of how important this story was for her to tell as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was an incredible director and answered a lot of my questions just because it is from the point of view of Olivia.
Right.
So, there's like that unreliable narrator
Right.
aspect. So I had a lot of conversations with her about um, kind of who Camille was in terms of like her own life and then in terms of like what you see uh, through, Olivia's point of view.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, and she's just so great to be around. Like she is so talented, and you can tell she cares about every single person on the set. And yeah, I just really admire her vision, attention to detail, and overall, she was just a great energy to be with on set every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, you can kind of it shows like I was really struck too because like I said, this could just be a fun psychological thriller and like a little bit of a I don't want to say scary movie, but it could kind of play in that avenue a little bit. But I like the things it said about cyberbullying. I really thought that it actually spoke a lot about mental health as well, as far as like not dealing with what happens when you don't deal with some of the traumas that you kind of go through, and then on top of high school just being a scary place sometimes in general. Um, what were your thoughts on some of the more, and I know this has to do more with Olivia's character, but what were your thoughts on some of the more like mental health aspects of the story? Because I really thought that they did a really good job of portraying that realistically as well too.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you have anxiety, a lot of your thoughts are irrational, and I think it's important to kind of dive into that point of view, because everyone experiences it in some way or another, and it's extremely common, especially in high school, especially when you're like that young and you have you're like going through the college process, and
Right.
yeah.
Mhm. And I think the film, it talks a lot about how social media also contributes to um, your mental health. And
Right.
yeah, I think that this whole film is kind of a social commentary on how, academic pressures and social media pressures can contribute to the decline of mental health.
Yeah, I agree. And as two like kind of like public figures like dealing with like social media, did this movie make you guys think differently about the effects of it, like the negative effects of like what social media can do when like too much is out there, and how quickly that kind of like bad news or good news too can like travel via that platform? Did it make you think about social media a little differently at all?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always been afraid of social media and, the pitfalls. I've definitely fallen into some of those pitfalls and gotten like obsessed with it. And then, it's, it's not a portrayal of real life.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I think it's hard. You forget that a lot when you see other people posting.
Right.
Like that, and then it's like, it never feels that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Social media is truly like just a snapshot of life. Like there
Right.
is so much more than just the online world.
Right. And it really is what you're putting out there, right? It's what you want the world to see. It might not be 100% of what's completely going on with you. And I think that's, even if it's just told a little bit in this movie, I think it was told pretty well as far as, like, especially for younger people. I think they deal a lot with that kind of pressure of certain things getting out there so quick. So I thought the movie handled that beautifully, actually, really well. Um, Chloe, I know you're a model, and I want to ask, because I wanted to kind of end it on a little bit of a silly note, I guess. You have some pretty good creepy stares in this movie. Like really, like I was like watching it at one point. I was like, yeah, she can nail the creepy stare. So I was wondering how, what did you practice it at all? Was it like, all right, this is gonna be my like, this is gonna be my scary face. This is gonna be my creepy face. What did you kind of do to kind of get to that point of like that spot?
I don't know. Well, I did my research and prep work on the film, and I kind of just let it come naturally. I just have the inner thoughts and just, I don't know, however it comes out.
Well, it came out pretty well. I want to say they're wrapping me up right now, but congratulations on the movie. It was a pleasant surprise. For real, I really enjoyed it, and I actually can't wait to see both of you in more things in the future. You guys are both very fantastic. So congratulations on the movie.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
No problem. You guys have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Olivia, how are you? I'm okay. You've had a rough few months. You just need to start focusing on yourself. Your application is strong. You're gonna get in somewhere great.
Not somewhere. Stanford. What?
She must have logged on last time she was over.
Did you see what Jane just posted?
How the hell could it have possibly been reactivated?
Did this girl frame her teacher?
Who's behind Jane?
I thought you wrote that.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
I know it wasn't me.
It has come to my attention that someone is manipulating a former student's internet account.
I hope you guys aren't mixed up with this stuff. This is a whole other level of messed up.
Hey. Whoa.
Did you see? These past few months have really sucked.
What are you doing?
100%.
I know you and Jane were very close. I'm sure this year has been incredibly difficult for you.